Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on. So here we go with my first movie review of 2024. My review of Blumhouse's latest horror film, Night Swim. Now, this is a film which I've heard about it for some time now. As you guys may know, this film is based on an original short film. It's nearly a decade old now. It's the full short movie is on YouTube, and I do recommend going and watching the whole thing for yourself, because it is actually pretty good, and yeah, and it's honestly quite suspenseful, in my opinion. If you're a fan of suspenseful short horror films, then I'd say you might enjoy it. Now, nearly a whole decade after the short film's release, Blumhouse is now adapting it into a 98-minute long film with the guy who originally worked on the short film, Bryce McGuire, directing it, and also now it's a film which I've been interested in for quite some time now. The first trailer for the movie I actually quite liked, but the second trailer, however, I was not really a fan of. It's being scheduled to be released on January 5th, which is honestly rather interesting because, if you guys will remember last year, Blumhouse gave us Megan in January. Well, over in America, it was released January 6th. However, over here in Ireland, we actually didn't get it until the week afterwards, January 13th. Hey, speaking of which, can you guys believe that Megan is literally a year old now? And of course, Megan, despite being a January release, actually ended up being quite successful for Blumhouse, and of course, Megan is getting its own sequel set to be released next year. So it seems as if with the success of Megan, Blumhouse has decided, to put out another January horror movie, but this time with Night Swim. And well, it is safe to say that Night Swim has not really had the same success as Megan did. As well, like Megan ended up getting supposedly actually very good reviews from critics. However, Night Swim, on the other hand, was not as lucky, as on its release it ended up getting pretty bad reviews from critics alike. And so, a few days back now, I went to see the movie for myself, and well, yeah, I don't think it was a very good movie at all. Yeah, this is not going to be a very positive review, I'm afraid, so yeah, safe to say this film was not really a very good start to the year. I'll admit that the cinematography in the film is actually decent. I'll admit there are some good looking shots in the movie. I think particularly during the scene set at night when we actually see the swimming pool all lit up and stuff. It's during those scenes in particular where I think the movie is honestly shot pretty well. So I do think the cinematography was quite decent. Now the editing in the film wasn't really too bad, although I do think in particular I think there's some scenes where cause where the editing can get a bit weird and stuff, or it'll be where there'll be a scene playing and it'll kind of be cutting to these different shots and stuff of previous shots from the pool. And well, I mean, to be fair, it's not really that bad. But it can get a little bit weird, and I do understand why it gets very weird and stuff. But all I'll say is it's not really the easiest to take seriously. So the editing in the movie was okay, but definitely nothing noteworthy. However, now as for the pace in this film, now obviously this movie being 98 minutes, it's not really a very long film, and I mean, for the most part the pacing here is fine. I mean, granted, I think you can kind of feel the movie's short run time, as the film does kind of seem to go by a bit alright. I mean, for the most part, I didn't really mind how quickly the pace in the film was going. However, there was just a few scenes where there wasn't really anything interesting going on, and so you're kind of wondering, waiting for something interesting to happen. Now, for most of the movie, the pacing isn't really too bad, but I'll admit where the film really fumbles with its pacing is in the climax, because I am not gonna lie, that climax, it felt so rushed. The movie just kind of seems to rush through the climax, and I just thought it everything that happened, it all went by way too quickly, and it didn't even feel like a proper climax. Kind of felt like everything was resolved way too quickly. It was kind of it's calm down, and I think in the film's third act, the pacing just really, it didn't feel very even. I mean, the movie, I feel like it definitely had a first act and a second act, but then the third act, it just seemed to rush. And it didn't really felt even. It didn't really feel like a proper third act. So yeah, I think the pacing in the film was not really great. Music in the movie, it was, it was fine, nothing really amazing, but with that being said, there was quite a few music tracks in the film during kind of some scenes, and I thought it honestly felt like really, out of place and stuff, and they just felt like way too these harshes for a movie like this. Um, yeah, so I did not really think that the music in this film was really great or that memorable at all. Um, now, also I got to say the visual effects in this movie, because there was quite a bit of CGI and stuff in the film, and I'm not gonna lie, some of these visual effects looks pretty damn bad. I'm not gonna lie, some of these visual effects actually just looked really funny. Yeah, just kind of summing up the CGI and the effects and stuff in this film, it just was not very good. As for the characters, now of course we have our main family focus on. I didn't really find any of them particularly interesting as characters. Like, the father in this, who's played by Wyatt Russell, the film kind of tries to do something with his character. I won't really get into it too much because it might give away a bit too much about the film, and I'll admit it was an interesting idea, but I just didn't think the movie really executed very well, just because, I know it was just kind of very hard to take seriously, so yeah, honestly, the film, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Wyatt Russell, I think he did the best he could, but the scripts didn't really, it didn't really do enough to make me care about him or his character, and yeah, it's just it kind of honestly he made me unintentionally laugh at times. So yeah, I just didn't really think his character in this was all that great. The mom then, who is played by Irish actress Kerry Condon, like, she's not really a very interesting character at all. Like, there's nothing really about her character that, makes her very memorable or compelling. Like, I mean, Kerry Condon, she is a very good actress. She was very good in the Banshees of Inisherin. Like, that Oscar nomination from last year was pretty deserving, but in this film though was definitely a huge step down, because in this film I just saw scripts just didn't give her much work, which just came across as being very kind of wooden here, and yeah, this script's just definitely wasn't given much to work with, so yeah, she was honestly very disappointing here. And there are two kids who we have in the movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think the kid actors are alright. They actually do okay jobs with what they are given, but I just don't find their characters particularly interesting either. The film really didn't do enough to make me care about this family and what happens to them and stuff. I think the film definitely fails on that aspect. It's not really that many other characters. There's a few other kind of supporting characters, but not really too important. What I will say is basically this thing that is haunting the pool, I did not find this thing very threatening at all. Mainly because the film just really made me unintentionally laugh. And like end up figuring out like kind of what this thing wants, but we never really get any explanation as to why the thing wants it. So the thing in this movie just really wasn't very threatening at all. So yeah, I thought the characters in this film were very weak and flat, and yeah, the film really didn't do enough to make me care about them. Now the plot of this movie, now I'll admit the film does have an intriguing concept of, a haunted swimming pool. I mean, I feel like something like this could work, but the film just really didn't do like a good job at it, because I think this movie really fails at just being a horror movie. I mean, this film kind of has similar issues to other horror movies which were released last year, like It Lives Inside, and also Five Nights at Freddy's, which was the last movie Blumhouse made before this, and the issues a lot of people had with Five Nights at Freddy's was that it was made for a lower age rating, that they didn't really go as far as they could with the violence and stuff, and yeah, this definitely applies here as well. Because of its lower age rating, it never really goes full on, and well, the thing is, Megan, and I said this in my review of Five Nights at Freddy's as well, Megan, which was the same rating as both of these movies, Megan, despite its lower age rating, it went as far as it could with, being violent and stuff, but with this film, they just really didn't do a good job of it, and yeah, I think this film in particular just really fails at being a horror movie, because I did not feel scared once throughout the movie. In all honesty, I actually found this film way funnier than I found it scary, because, well, the film was meant to be scary, but, it really fails at that, because I just found this whole movie to just be really funny, honestly, and yeah, it really fails in terms of the scares and stuff. So yeah, on top of not being scary, the film just really didn't do enough to make me care about the characters and stuff, and so yeah, overall I just saw the plot of this, the execution of it really wasn't great. The film really could have done a way better job with everything. As I said earlier, the narrative structure in this film is really poor. The film kind of delves into one or two other things, but it's mainly just about this family being haunted by the pool, and so well, and yeah, I kind of mainly focused on that plot. One or two other little things going on, but this is kind of the main plot, and well, to be fair, I do think some of the subplots, they do kind of tie into the main plot pretty well, but it's hard to really care all that much when, there's, when you can't really take the film seriously at all, and I think the movie just really doesn't do enough to make me care about its characters, and well, just and as I said, the 3-act structure in this movie was done very poorly, because as I said, the movie felt like it had a first act and a second act, but it seems to just have a very short third act. It seems like the third act just went by very quickly, and I just thought it made I thought it made the film just feel very uneven. especially in that last bit. So yeah, I would say the narrative structure was not very good. The film really, the film really fumbles when it starts. Actually, how quickly it went. So overall, yeah, Night Swim was not a very good movie, and definitely not a very good start to the year. Like, I mean, well, it did have an intriguing concept. It just didn't do enough to make me feel scared because I just thought this was funny throughout the whole thing. Like, and it didn't do enough to really make me care about the characters and what happened to them. There was some very weak visual effects here as well. And the climax then just really rushed, which just makes the film's structure feel very uneven. Uh, that's not to say it is a total disaster. As I mean, it's not completely terrible. And there's some nice cinematography and I'll admit it can be entertaining, with how unintentionally funny it gets, but as a horror movie, this really does fail. I mean, if you're interested to check this one out, I'd say I mean, if you wanna watch it just for kind of how funny it is, then I'd say jump right in, but other than that, I'd say you're better off swimming in a different pool with this one. So with that, I am going to give Night Swim a 4 out of 10. So with that, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.